What's up, YouTube? Let's talk about the 5 elements. Well, there are many different lists of elements in different cultures. In this video, I'll be mainly talking about the 5 elements that are related to yoga and the Tantra traditions, and also known as Panchabhuta. These 5 elements are earth, water, fire, air, and akasha, also referred to as space, ether, or spirit. And in this video, we'll be breaking down what each represent and what wisdoms we can pull from this and the practical uses of this knowledge. So first, let's talk about the connections of the elements and the chakras, where I think this is an important connection to understand the practical use of this knowledge. Each element has a connection with one of the 7 main chakra points up the spine. Starting from the base of the spine up, earth is connected to the root chakra, water is connected to the sacral chakra, fire is connected to the solar plexus chakra, air is connected to the heart chakra, and spirit is connected with the throat, third eye, and crown. The element of akasha, or spirit, is a combination of all the other elements, and once you have gotten to a certain level of mastery of the first 4, then the mastery of the spirit begins. And just like the chakra system, this system is running through everyone. Everyone is an avatar. So, another way to look at the spiritual path is mastering the elements, just like Aang in Avatar: The Last Airbender. And side note, spirit, or akasha, is shown as the spirit and energy bending in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale. Understanding others, the other elements, and the other nations will help you become whole. It is the combination of the 4 elements in one person that makes the avatar so powerful, but it can make you more powerful too.
So, to master the elements is the spiritual path. And we can see that this has been evidently clear in the case of yoga, as we see in Bhuta Sutti, a fundamental yogic practice which means the cleanse of the 5 elements. All there is in yoga is the cleansing of the 5 elements. All other forms of yogic practices are just an extract from this system. So the mastery of the 5 elements, as the avatar you are, is the goal. And in yoga, it is called Bhuta Siddhi. So, what does it mean to master the 5 elements? Well, mastery of the 5 elements mean you have a mastery over the body, mind, energy, and your very own creation. For you see, what you call my body or my mind is just a manifestation of these 5 elements. If you know how to properly use and organize these elements within, then there is nothing more to life in terms of health, perception, knowing, and enlightenment. I mean, let's just look at the body composition. The body is made up of 72% water, 12% earth, 6% air, 4% fire, and 6% spirit, the space and energy that is holding the rest together. With this, you can see how the mastery of the elements is a mastery over the body. And even more good news is that to live well, you only really have to master the 4 elements. For the spirit, it's more about the mystical dimension. Alright, let's go more in depth about each element, and we will go in order of the chakras in which the elements coincide with. So, let's start with the element of earth. Associated with the root chakra, the earth element deals with the material expression of the universe, the 3rd-dimensional world. Earth is the synthesis of water, fire, and air element, in their densest form of what we call matter. Earth is the representation of movement and action. It is the mirror of the spirit, for the earth energy is seeking to provide for the material and physical existence, the basis of our psychological needs and survival. And it deals with the quality of food, water, and air we bring into our body, as well as the procreation and desire for relationships. an important element, for it is directly linked to the spirit since the spirit embodies the earth. The second element is water, associated with the sacral chakra. This element is linked to all the other elements in many ways. Water and earth have a close relationship as the two lower and passive elements, as they both deal with the astral plane. As water is associated with the sacral chakra, it deals with emotions. Water is 72% of the body, as well as 72% of the planet. The relationship between the planet and the body is clear with water. And you can use this ratio for cleansing the body by eating foods with higher water concentrate like fruit, and for maintaining, eating foods with the same ratio such as vegetables. We can see that water and earth elements have a tremendous amount of memory as well, especially compared to the other two elements, and much research has been going down proving the powers of the memory of water. Water is also the yin to the fire's yang, as water relates to form and consciousness, and fire relates to force and soul. And both elements are fueled by the element of air. The third element is fire, associated with the solar plexus chakra. The element, as I said, is the yang to the water's yin, focused on force and soul. The fire element is associated with the mental plane along with air. The fire element plays a huge role in the spiritual world and evolution, as it also can be understood as energy. The fire element is the purifier, the cleanser of the body, mind, and soul, and is a representation of the conscious mind, vitality, confidence, creativity, and courage. The fire element is focused on willpower, motivation, and dynamics. This is the link for manifestation. So with a lot of firepower means great ability for manifestation. Fire has a huge role in healing and the Kundalini awakening process. As for people who have experienced intense healing, will always refer to the heat and fire-like symptoms as the energy flows and burns through whatever is not needed. In regards to chi and prana, fire element is heavily linked as the pool of energy and the application of this energy itself. It's represented as the feeling like energy, light, or fire. Furthermore, there are 5 dimensions of fire: the reproductive fire, digestive fire, mental fire, heart fire, and inner fire. While heart and inner fire are harder to deal with little effort, the other 3, reproductive, digestive, and mental fire, can be purified. Mastery over the fire element is one step away from the spirit. And while it is represented as the third, most associations would put it as the next step to spirit. Fourth element is air, associated with the heart chakra, the closest element to akasha, space, or spirit element. Air is the fuel for fire and water, acting as the communication on an inner level. The great supporter of life, as we can see through our own lives as the air we breathe and the atmosphere of the planet. Air is associated with the mental plane along with fire, usually and associated similarly with thoughts and creative energy. But more importantly, the element of air is the supporting role, the role of balance. It is the function of the heart chakra and air element to be the balancer and fuel for understanding. Then there's the fifth element, known by many names like spirit, akasha, ether, or space. The element of spirit is known as the first element, the source of all things in existence. So, the other 4 elements are encompassed in this. It is like the glue or building block to all the other elements. The spirit element is associated with the upper 3 chakras, throat, third eye, and crown. As these all deal with the spiritual plane, the spirit element is connected to the higher self and divinity, and can only start really being mastered after a certain level of mastery of the first 4. There are many practices to help master these elements in many traditions. For example, pranayama yoga techniques or breathwork being associated with air and fire. I won't go into the specific techniques in this video, I just want you to know there are many forms and methods to help master the elements. While we just went over the 5 elements as it pertains to yoga, I will give you a brief explanation of another popular concept of the 5 elements, and this is Wu Jing, or the 5 elements of Chinese medicine. And this concept of the 5 elements are all based on the material realm, and they are fire, earth, metal, water, and wood, with the 6th element not normally mentioned as air or spirit. These 5 elements are what Qigong uses as its way of explaining the body and the universe. While the elements are somewhat different, they hint on the same principles. Lastly, I want to look at the knowledge of these elements and its association with healing. Hippocrates, known as the father of modern medicine, understood that nature was made up of the 4 elements of earth, water, fire, and air. And he believed that the body was made up of all 4 of these elements. He knew that illness were occurring due to the imbalance of these elements, and the treatment should be to restore balance. And it is this concept I think we should use with knowledge of the elements to better ourselves in our everyday lives and in our spiritual practices. And that's it for today's video. Like, subscribe, comment, leave questions or topics you want me to talk about. Thanks for watching. Peace.